Happy New Year! Hi! Sorry, I forgot to plug in my microphone. Let's go! 2025 off to a good start, I see. But yes, Happy New Year, everybody! Oh my gosh, I hope your year has been off to a good start. I missed you all! Oh my gosh, the past couple weeks have been, oh my goodness, so much stuff going on. But of course, like the first week that I couldn't stream, it was because family was over and I would have like no privacy. But the following week, there was enough going on that I was like, you know what, I think I need another week. Fat hugs? Okay, hold on, let me get down. I missed my underwing so much. Yeah. And hello, new person, Endless Void. Welcome, welcome. Right, hug. Hug chat. Missed you all. Oh my goodness. All right, where do I even begin? Oh my goodness. Well, I suppose I could begin by yeah, I added that. You can thank EdgeDrive for that. Luis, thank you for 23 months. Thank you for your support. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, yes, welcome. I'm Spacey Bothotelli, Gadgeteer Bat and game developer. And I have a belated announcement. Well, I announced it the day of, but this is the first time I'm announcing it on stream. There is a new IP joining the Galaxy Trail family. Yes, I am pleased to announce that we are publishing Carol Quest 64. And there's a Kickstarter going on right now. You can back it for some really cool rewards. I have posted the link in the chat. But yeah, it's like obviously it wears its Nintendo 64 vibes on its sleeves. So it's kind of like, it's like an exploration-based collectathon platformer. I'm excited to try it too. I haven't tried the demo yet, but I've seen like footage and everything, and it's very impressive. The developers know what they're doing. They have a lot of experience.
Get supported, nerd. Double exclamation mark.
Double
exclamation mark.
Thank you for 14 months. Double exclamation mark. Double exclamation mark. Thank you so much, Edge. I hope you're doing well, friend. But yes, Carol Quest 64. The devs have experience making some really good Mario 64 ROM hacks, and they brought that to the table. And you know me, I have a soft spot for developers who got their start in fan games and would originally move on to like original stuff, because I am one of them. So yeah, the main developer, Melon Speedruns, approached me and asked if we would help publish the game, and I was like, yeah, it looks awesome. So I'm really excited, and I also want to express my hearty congratulations to the Carol Quest 64 team for successfully reaching their funding goal. Let's go! But yes, you can back it to get all the good bells and whistles. You can get like an early pre-order copy of the game. You can get like testing access, that sort of thing. I can't wait to see how it shapes up. We added a new channel for the game in the Galaxy Trail server. We've already gotten some very good feedback from people, so thank you all for your support. Because of your support that we can continue to in turn support other developers like this. So yeah, this was one of the big things that I was waiting to announce. One of the big things I was talking about that I was working behind the scenes. I mean, of course, Melon and the team did all the heavy lifting, but we'll be helping to get them on Steam. And hopefully on consoles as well. It's been a while. I think the last game that we actually published on consoles in-house was Pedal Crash. But I will do my best. We got the connections. We are the guys who know a guy who know a guy. But yes, I hope everybody enjoys the game, and of course there is a public demo available to play if you're interested. Well, other than that, I had a pretty good holiday, couple of holiday weeks. Of course, we had Christmas. I mostly got chocolate. I mostly got dark chocolate. But I also treated myself to a few things, and I got myself some round bookshelves. They're like the round kind that like go in the corner of rooms, and I like how it really rounds out my office. Good stuff. And
But do you know a guy who knows 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 a guy's cousin?
Thank you, Dark Moon, for 18 months. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, I got Mama's Facey Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine, which she liked, which was really cool. Yeah, Edge, I've added Yippee. For now. For now. I might move it to a bit roared. But it's the shiny one. The first time you hear about it, because this is the first stream that I've had where I add like after I added it. Oh, wait. It's your birthday, Blake? Let's go! Everybody, wish Blake a happy birthday! Yeah, I want to play more Monster Hunter. Playing in a team was actually super fun. But there are more people who have lined up to play with me, so we'll see what kind of team we form in the future. But that is for another month, because this month is Mega Manuary. Yes, all month I will be playing exclusively Mega Man games. I thought about playing a Mega Man game today, but I just want to take it easy today because it's my first time back, and you know, just want to warm up and talk about our future goals for this year. But when I do start, I'm thinking I could start with either Wily Wars, followed by the fan-made sequel Wars, or I could start with X6 tweaks, or I could start with Mega Man Zero and do like all the Mega Man Zero games this month. I have a mega list ready. Oh, you better believe it. I also want to play the Zero mod for X8 16-bit, but I don't think it's going to be done this month. I haven't heard anything about when it's supposed to come out. Mega Man Soccer. I thought Mega Man Soccer was pretty neat back in the day when I played it on console as a kid. Just the fact that it was like the only Mega Man game I remember playing where you could play as other Robot Masters besides Mega Man. Yeah, Wily Wars. Wily Wars was actually my first experience playing the original trilogy. So it's kind of interesting going from that to the original NES games. But I think it'd be a cool celebration. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar enough with the first 3 games at this point that I could probably get through it all in 2 streams. We'll see. I do recall, like, when I first started streaming in my current form, I played the first few Mega Man games like one at a time, and that resulted sometimes in shorter streams. But if we play them back to back, maybe we can marathon them. Mega Man's getting a lot of love this month. Yeah. The whole like secret level thing, and then like what you said with the cards thing. Wily Wars on Switch is actually superior to the original Genesis port. Oh, I can imagine so, because I imagine they actually play it at 60 FPS. Are there any other improvements? Because I might want to grab that version. No slowdown. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, wait. It's locked behind Nintendo Switch Online. Maybe. Yeah, I'll have to give it some thought. Yeah, the NTSC version was like, I think it was like only available in the US as part of like a subscription service back in the day. Zero series is brutal. Oh, I can handle it. I think the interesting thing about the Zero series, I feel like the first game is by far the hardest, because you start off with way fewer abilities than you do in the later games. And as the games go on, not only do you start with better moves, but like they kind of like gradually like streamline the difficulty a little bit. So I kind of like the reverse difficulty of the series, because as it goes on, you feel like Zero is getting stronger and stronger. but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how we fare. Without the save states that I benefited from when I first played them. But I will be playing through the Zero collection. Maybe if I have enough days afterwards this month, I could jump into the ZX series as well. I don't know who I'm gonna play as in the ZX series because like there's a canon route where you play ZX1 as Ale and then ZX2 as Gray, and then they kind of tie into each other. But I've also heard that playing ZX1 as Vent and ZX2 as Ash is also a valid choice. Looking forward to it, yeah. Mega Man Legends, I don't know about that. That's not as much of my forte. No pun intended. Both routes are canon. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, and X6 tweaks is just something that I should probably get out of the way too. I could even do that tomorrow since it's going to be the last day this week. I could do that tomorrow. Actually, maybe I could play X6 tweaks and then make sure that I end it with Zero so that we get Zero's ending. Because in that ending, it kind of, in a way, sort of ties into the fact that Zero starts Mega Man 01 in a capsule. So like if you get the Zero ending in X6, like it also involves a capsule. Yeah, the interesting thing about that is that Inafune wanted to end the X series with X5, but Capcom said no, we want money. So they made X6, and he had no idea they were making X6 until it was released. And then he was like, okay, fine, let's tweak the intro of 01 to accommodate this. I really like the Zero series though. It probably has like I feel like it has like more solid storytelling than the X series, mostly because, you know, it's the only like Mega Man series to have a definitive ending. The other ones just kind of like keep going. Also, there's a new demo of Sonic Galactic as well. I've been meaning to play that. I don't know if I want to play the demo at some point or if I want to wait for the full thing. But oh my gosh, that trailer is actually insane. Like the animation work and everything. Wonder if there's a way. Have they uploaded it to YouTube? Let me check. Because then we can hop over and watch it together. Let's see. Sonic Galactic Demo 2 trailer. Oh, okay. So they do have a YouTube account? Let's go. Okay. It looks nuts. At least graphically. Alright. Hold on a second. Make sure that I've got everything here. Okay, I need to copy the code over. I think that's the right one. Is it? Okay, I got it. Alright, let's hop over real quick. What? My redeems? Oh, sorry. I know how to fix it, hold on. And then I'll head after you. Okay, let's see. Come on. I just have to wait for the plugin to load that I use for that sort of thing. So let's see. No. Okay. Oh, it's on cooldown. What the heck? What the heck? Let me just move this over real quick. Gotta get in line so many paths. Thank you. I don't know why the cooldown is so heavy on that one. I would prefer it to be something like, I don't know, like 15 seconds? Let's see. Okay, now they're working. Yeah, thank you for that, everybody. Sweet. Oh, Stammer 6, Happy New Year. Alright, I think I'm ready. Okay. Okay, where's my... Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That animation work for like a free fan game is actually nuts. Star Team. I'll do the invincibility redeem afterwards. Sonic's animation work is so smooth, and I'm really happy that they have unique sprites for Tails and Knuckles that they've drawn from scratch. Knuckles looks really clean too. Yeah, you can play as Fang. And they have an OC tunnel. And like the movement of the boss parts is really smooth. That's how I know they actually know what they're doing. Is like the bosses are built from like multiple parts and like they move independently in true like Sega Genesis style. Wait, the hard bullet heavies are back? Oh, the backgrounds too, they're so gorgeous. Oh, look at Fang go. I'm personally not really a fan of Tunnel's look. I might change my mind when I actually play as him. Oh, that's so cool! He can shoot a bullet downwards and that acts as a double jump. Nice! Nice! This demo is actually out now, so I have to think about... I have a whole month. I have a whole month to think about it because I'm focusing on Mega Man this month. Demo 2 is out now. Yeah, look up Sonic Galactic Demo 2. Wait, no, there's a link. sonicgalactic.github.io. Nice. We take those. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna get back into the groove with Sonic fan games. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do invincibility redeem because somebody redeemed that too. Why isn't the audio playing? Why is there no audio? Why is there no audio? It should work. It should work. Oh, Meowsturgeon, hello! Welcome. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'll figure it out. Figure it out later. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, like it is kind of interesting how Fang is. Is he on the same team though? Is it like an alternate like perspective maybe? Where like maybe he goes through the same levels, but he's just kind of doing his own thing. It could be. I'm not sure. OBS using the year to not improve. I need to update my OBS. It's like I don't know, like 3 years old at this point. I've been afraid to update because I've been worried it'll break some things, but I guess I could wait until my 2.0 and then I'll just update it then, and then I'll be like, yeah. Speaking of which, Oh my gosh. Okay, I will have a teaser for 2.0 on my anniversary, which is on the 15th of this month. So a little less than 2 weeks. What day of the week is it? It's a Wednesday. I don't usually stream on Wednesdays, so maybe we could celebrate on Thursday instead. We'll do like what we did last year, where I'll look at some clips over the past year of stuff that we've streamed. Maybe do another like reaction of my first of my debut, and then at the end, I'll have an announcement. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff I have to do. It's making my head spin. It'll be fine though. We just revealed one of them, Carol Quest 64. So the weight is gradually shedding off. Gonna go farm Warframe. Let's go. Hope you have fun. Oh, it's gonna work. Yeah. There's my 2.0. Also, this is the year that we're gonna finish Chrono Gear as well. And it's really ironic in a really cool way too, that it's the year of the snake. You know, like that's Crony's thing. Like she's got like a snake motif, Ouroboros. So her fan base is already saying that this is going to be her year. And on top of that, we're finishing Chrono Gear in the year of the snake. So I consider it a good omen. Yeah, we need like a few more months to finish things up. But oh my gosh, I have been working at like a lightning pace compared to when I was working on the Freedom Planet games. Oh my goodness. At least it feels that way. I think maybe it's just because we're in the end game, and that's usually when we start like bringing back earlier gimmicks and enemies, and there's enough like scripting in the game that we find ways to like reuse some of that scripting instead of having to make everything from scratch. I think most of the work up ahead is going to be probably going to be the boss fights. And then there's a few like systems related things that we have to take care of too. Like we have to go through all the hub areas and make sure that NPCs are where they're supposed to be at a given point in the story. That is going to be a thing. But we have a good team of coders, so I think we can make it in the time frame that we want to. Very excited to play more. Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all are not ready. I think when we're only a few weeks out and we have like our big like social media push for the game, I'll make like a pitch video specifically for like the Freedom Planet community who might not be aware of this project, and I'll kind of pitch to them why they might be interested in Chrono Gear, and why whether they are or not, why they should be excited about what it means for the future of Galaxy Trail. Because this game project has changed the way that I think about game design. And like I cannot wait to talk more about it as we get closer and closer to the finish line. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and the team has been so wonderful. Yeah, real person. It's mostly in terms of a personal thing. Like in terms of how it's changed like the way I feel about like making games, and it's kind of like renewed my confidence in my ability to make games of this scope in a decent amount of time. Like after Freedom Planet 2 was finished, like that game took like 7-8 years to make, and I was worried for a really long time that I wouldn't have it in me to make those kinds of games anymore, unless I devoted so many years of my life that I would only be able to make a few more. But yeah, there's just like so many other factors at play now. Now I realize that. Oh, Will, hello! Oh gosh, Will has been an MVP in terms of like programming and level design. Like, we've been double teaming on a lot of things, and it's kind of like in the later like years of Freedom Planet 2, except like even better, because we've been learning so much. Yeah, okay, you definitely think you've learned a lot from Chrono Gear, even in just like the less than half a year you've worked on it. Yeah, it's so nuts that it's only been that long. it feels longer. But I guess it's just because like I'm not used to this kind of pacing. This like breakneck pacing. Very motivating to see a game come together so fast. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And it's just it's empowering for me too, knowing that I can keep things moving this briskly, because I can see the positive effect it's having on the team. To where that like they know that I can get stuff done as a leader. So that is personally very, very gratifying. So it will jump scare, yeah. Oh my gosh. So I guess those are my goals for 2025, really. To you know, the other thing that's kind of insane too is that I'm doing everything with Chrono Gear at the same time that I'm working on my 2.0. Like commissioning artists for both projects, and like, oh my gosh, my head's spinning. But it's very rewarding. So I'm really happy. I know it sounds like I'm stressed, but I'm really happy too. But yeah, this is gonna be such a good year. I hope so. I feel it. I feel it in my batty bones. And yeah. I think the cool thing too is that I think everything's gonna line up to like happen like almost at the same time. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I just gotta work hard for a few more months, and then like the payoff is gonna be massive. Like in terms of like having the 2.0 like around the same time. Oh my goodness. Oh, Edge Drive, I really appreciate that. Oh, Crimson, hello as well. How's your day been so far? It's been nice. Mama Spacey actually took the day off work. Because she's like a little bit under the weather. She's taking a nap right now. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do just a chatty batty today instead of jumping right into Mega Man. just keep things a little low key. But yeah, it's been good so far. Yeah, it's been buzzing, but oh man, making video games, yes, and making video games in a way where you're seeing like your ideas come to life, like in real time, at a pace where you can actually like see like the effect. Goon Cave, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. New year, new chances to shield and scream at the mountaintops. Yeah. And just like having these streams with y'all, with my underwings, where I can just like chill and hang out and play with people without any pressure or anything. That has been a big help too, a big like motivating factor for me. Cause like not only does it give me a break from work, but it's fun. Like, I enjoy this method of recharging my social batteries. Well, to the extent that like I can recharge them a little bit, but I lean more towards the introverted side. Let me take a sippy. Like I lean towards introverted, but there's still like moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I should probably like hang out with people for a while. Yeah, just last week, when Grandma Spacey was still over here, her and Mama Spacey went over to like a bar that's like a minute drive away. That bar actually has really good chicken tenders and fries. Every time we go there, that's what I order, tendies and fries. But the last time that they were over there, I stayed home. So I was really tired that night. I tried to get some sleep, but I was having, not really a bad dream, but just like icky thoughts. So I ended up waking up at like, I don't know, like midnight. And at that point, like Mama Spacey and Grandma Spacey had just gotten home from the bar. They hit the dance floor because they had live music that night. So I walked down the stairs in my robes. and they were just having like a casual conversation, and I just sat down with them, and then the puppies jumped up on my lap, and we just had like a good old family talk. It was nice. It's nice to have family over every now and then. Oh yes, thank you for posting that link, Alex. I'll go ahead and pin it. So yes, pre-orders are still up for Freedom Planet 2's physical edition. Yeah, that's the other thing that we accomplished recently. Whoa, so much. And I don't want to speak too soon, but there might be 1 or 2 other games that we might publish in the future. It seems like they're going to take longer to complete though, so it won't be this year. But there are things to look forward to, which makes me happy. Yeah, being an introvert is nice sometimes. It's nice to know that I don't necessarily need to depend on other people in order to keep myself in a healthy headspace. I mean, you kind of need to, but like in terms of just like you know, like alone time is a positive thing rather than a negative thing. Like particularly because where I live, it takes a bit of driving to return to civilization. Oh, Creeper Boy, you're gonna start filming for a plush show? Ooh, so like puppets? That sounds interesting. Oh, Etrive, you found out that you are introverted, but being around certain people does not drain your batteries. It might even fuel them. Yeah, that's the weird thing about the human brain, isn't it? Like, we all have different ways that we recharge our social batteries, but that method can vary depending on the kind of person you're hanging out with. Like, if you're an introvert, hanging out with other introverts could, like, fuel you instead of drain you. Whereas, like, hanging out with someone who's, like, super bubbly and social is super nice, but, like, after a while, it can be a bit draining. Or vice versa. Really interesting how people are different like that. I would even say that variance has contributed to the success of mankind. Because different people are suited for different kinds of like, talents, I suppose. You're one of the... Oh, yeah, I can tell at Shive that hanging out with Alex like is like a big boost like that. Like, yeah. Oh my goodness. Gotta head off. Oh, no problem, Haas. Yeah. Happy birthday, Haas, as well. Oh my gosh, 2 birthdays today. Wow. Blake and Haas. Well, I hope you have the best of days. Oh my gosh, the Jerboa emote, yeah. Yeah, watching Doobie is fun. Watching Doobie is almost like watching an Animal Crossing character come to life. Almost. like a more like high energy Animal Crossing character. Whereas I say like I would say like watching Alex is like watching like a lower energy Animal Crossing character, like Isabelle, for example. Thank you for carry combo. Yeah, thank you for carry combo. Okay, I'll take Sippy and Stretchy. Well, I love you too, Alex. Oh my gosh. So far, the weather has been decent. We've just had a few snowstorms, but thankfully, I have not really had to leave the house during those storms, so it's been fine. Pretty, all things considered, it feels like a pretty mild winter. It could just be because, you know, we have that good wood stove to keep the house warm. But it's been pretty nice. But the main downside, of course, is that the springs are frozen up, so we are not able to get our usual source of fresh spring water. So we have to rely on distilled water, and I have to put like electrolyte powder into it so that it actually has like the nutrients that water is supposed to have.
Oh no.
Like, it's fine. but the flavor, the taste just kind of like gets on me after a while. Maybe I should get like different flavored electrolyte powder, because we only have like lemonade flavor. What would be really nice actually is if they make unflavored powder like that. I honestly would prefer no flavor at all than having constant fruit flavor. Like, especially when it comes to water. Like, if I want a fruity drink, then I'll make a fruity drink. Yeah, like, that's the thing too. Some people can flip between being an introvert and being an extrovert depending on the context. I know a few friends who are like that. I like, especially if you're surrounded by people that you trust. Like, you can end up being like way more extroverted and talkative than you usually are. No wonder I'm such a chatty batty during these chatty batty streams, because I'm very comfy around my underwings. Oh, y'all are so nice. Double boost. Oh, I haven't experienced VR yet. That could be a cool 2025 goal. Maybe I could try VR for the first time. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can commission like some kind of model from somebody, even if it's a bit scuffed. So I can walk around the VR space as my batty self. Well, yeah, what kind of goals do y'all have in 2025? I know Creeper Boy mentioned the like the plush thing. You got a great sleep, Nolikin? Nice! Yeah, right, Joker? There should be bat villagers in Animal Crossing. That would be so cute. The closest thing we have to bat villagers, I guess, is like mouse villagers or rabbit villagers. I guess mouse would be closest. Like, imagine at least if they had a mouse villager that had like bat fangs. Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I bet like the bat villagers, what they could do so that they can wear the same clothes as everybody else is that they could just have like the wings on their back. But it would be kind of cute if they had the wing arms too. You know, like this. Except like way smaller, because you know they're chibi portions. Oh yeah, I could go for some hot chocolate. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we're this deep in winter and I haven't had hot chocolate yet. I'll have to broach the subject with Mama Spacey. Gamer subs. Yeah, like it's kind of weird because they've been like very good to some of my streamer friends. But at the same time, it's an energy drink. I'm very wary about like energy drinks. I'm worried about like any adverse effects that the caffeine might have. So it makes me wonder, like, if I were approached by one of those energy drink companies that like to endorse streamers all the time, would I feel comfortable endorsing a product that I myself cannot consume? Yeah, it's interesting to think about. Well, I don't really have to worry about it because, like, you know, this streaming for me is more of a hobby rather than something that I like do to make a living. Like, I just feel like because I love like making games so much, I don't think I'll ever be able to have like the time to be a full-time streamer. Unless like I pretty much exclusively like have game dev streams. And then that way they just kind of like weaves into it. But even then it's like most of what helps me make a living is like the games that I make and publish. So mad respect to all of the VTubers and other streamers out there who do it for a living. Because it feels like it can be quite volatile sometimes. But I'm glad that they're able to be in a position where they can get the income that they need to keep pursuing their creative endeavors. Oh, you have an arcade stick, Elfie. Let's go. It's been a while since I brought my arcade stick out. I think the last time I brought the fight stick out is when I played Sonic Superstars and I couldn't get my normal controller to work. So I played the entire game on a fight stick. Oh, that was really funny. Oh, and the glitches in that game. Have they fixed them yet? Has there been a patch for Sonic Superstars since release? Get those darn videos done. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that whenever they're ready, Blem. Oh, real person, you're gonna make more consistent project on your progress, I should say, on your tabletop RPG system and campaign. Let's go. Yeah, it's. I remember the few times that I got to hang out with friends at like conventions and stuff, and we played board games together, and it was quite nice. I wish I had like those kinds of friends where I live, to where we could just like get together on any old weekend and have like a, not necessarily a tabletop session per se, but like a board game night. Because there's some really cool board games out there. It doesn't have to be like the classics all the time. Maybe get a new job, Blem. Nice. So Crimson's goal is to keep improving yourself one day at a time. Yeah, that's a good goal to have. It's a humble goal, but sometimes that's what you need in order to get things on track, you know? Like it's fine to have like super ambitious New Year's resolutions. But I think all we could ever ask for is to just like be good, you know? Okay, Will says you're gonna get back to the game you've had on hiatus since 2021. Working on Chrono Gear really made you want to finish it. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I could see that being really cool, to where you kind of like bring like what you've learned from this project into one that you started working on previously. That's kind of something I want to do as well, because like there was like a project that I was like toying around with in Godot prior to working on Chrono Gear. So I could bring that experience with me and be like, okay, what have I learned? For one thing, I am much more comfortable using Godot now. We actually recently upgraded the game to version 4.3, which was something I was nervous about because it refactors a bunch of things, but it was surprisingly smooth. There were only a few hiccups in the migration from 4.2 to 4.3. But we fixed them all, now we're totally up to date. Gospel says you're going to try to get a stable job like every year. Oh, I hope this is the year. I hope this is the year. So Chris, your main 2025 goals are to finish your game, start making smaller games, and stream more. Oh yeah. Didn't you say you were gonna start streaming on Twitch soon? That sounds awesome. Yeah, and you've been on fire with like releasing like handfuls of like smaller games. Nice. Sometimes like I personally think like, especially when you're just starting out with game design, working on lots of really small games that might only take like a few minutes to complete is a really good way to build up experience. Or even like what you could do if you're thinking about getting into game design is that you can make an arcade game. Because the cool thing about arcade games is that you could just make like 1 or 2 minutes worth of content, but just have the player repeat it and have it get progressively harder over time. And that is a very good starting point. That is something that I found to be quite entertaining when I was first starting out as a kid. Edge Drive, you want to stream more and you want to collab with friends? Yeah, we should collab sometime as well. We should do like a collab of a classic Doom map that is built specifically for co-op. That might be fun. But yeah, I want to stream more Doom maps as well. What might be fun is once my 2.0 is out, I could maybe like as part of a dev stream, well, a few dev streams, I could try and see if I can make my own custom weapon set and like draw my own like spacey hands for them That could be pretty cool. It depends on how long it takes to figure that out. Maybe what I could do is I could work on it offline, and then if I make enough progress to where I'm like, oh, okay, this is good stream content, then I could be like, yeah, let's have Doom dev stream. So, Edge Drive, you also want to land your next project as a pixel artist once we're done with Kernel Game. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you have been on fire with the tile sets. Oh my gosh. I have no doubt that once people figure out who did most of the tile sets in Chrono Gear, you're gonna get approached by developers being like, hey, we want you on our project. Are you interested? I hope that's the case, because you deserve that kind of attention. but at the very least, you are more than welcome to refer to your work on the game. So Bandit says,
Hi, Spacey and Chat. I have returned, and by return I mean my school break and new part-time job has allowed me to watch these streams again.
Let's go!
Hope everyone's been doing well, and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Doggo KP! It's good to hear from you again. So Bandit says one of your goals is to make some headway of progress on a certain spoopy project you have been working on. But that's the same goal you've had for the last few years, and life and health scares keep telling you no. I hope they tell you yes this year. Yeah, don't get discouraged if you're working on a long-term project. Especially if you're in the middle of it, because like in the middle of a project, it tends to be pretty difficult to gauge how much progress you've been making. So just stick to it, and you'll be surprised how quickly things start to come together once you like near the end point. I know I'm definitely feeling that way with Chrono Gear right now. Like things are moving, like it feels like they're moving like a lot faster now that we're like pretty close to the end point. When in reality, that's just a culmination of a bunch of things that we've been building up over the course of the entire project. Yeah. So Kitty Doll says, your goal is to draw more, do more art, build an audience, and start doing art commissions. Also want to do a lot more OC art and expand on OC lore. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, building up like your artistic talent is a very nice goal to have. And it will, I'm sure it will lead to like even more opportunities in the future. Yeah, I have mad respect for people who take commissions like that. Like, I'm not sure if I could handle the pressure of what the client would expect from their commission. but yeah, mad props to all the artists out there that make our help us bring our ideas to life. I should have hot chalky, shouldn't I? Maybe after the stream, I could whip myself up a big old mug of hot chocolate. A good way to soothe the throat after a stream of Chatty Batty. Yeah, Gamer Subs does have weird flavor names. Like you can definitely tell like that. And what's the other big one? Is it right? G Fuel. G Fuel and Gamer Subs are the two big ones, I think.
What the dog doing?
You can tell that they're mostly geared towards like, you know, like the capital G gamer crowd. You know, like the Dorito and Mountain Dew crowd. The first person shooter, free to play shooter crowd. But it's nice to know that they reach out to streamers of all stripes. So you don't necessarily have to have an audience like that in order to like be endorsed by them. Just like my friend Yomi, for example. She has the Gamer Subs endorsement. And she's definitely like got like a completely different vibe than what you would expect from like an energy drink company like that. I'm so happy for her. She announced recently that she was gonna join a VTuber agency. So that's really cool. I know that's been like a dream of hers ever since she started. So I'm really looking forward to what her debut is gonna be like. Cause like just the trailers of the debut alone are just like, oh my gosh. She's put like enough like work into like her debut stuff as like a big corpo VTuber, like a Hololive VTuber, which is like kind of nuts. Oh my gosh, mad props. Mad props. I am so proud of Yomi. Oh, right. Yesterday, I saw the Sonic movie at last. Let's go. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. It was so freaking good. Yeah, I won't spoil anything, but oh my gosh, they did Shadow so correct. So right. Oh my gosh. So much fun. And Jim Carrey Slade, he was so much fun, and I could tell like the adults in the theater, they like really popped off and started getting like super interested in the movie, even though they weren't familiar with Sonic. Like after Jim Carrey appeared and started doing his usual antics. And Mama Spacey, of course, like Mama Spacey only really knows like Sonic from like the original games on Sega Genesis that we used to play as kids. So prior to seeing the movie, she had no idea who Shadow was. But by the end, like she loved him. Like she loves his character and everything. And I remember her like she was like smiling and clapping. Yeah. Bark. She like Shadow or Keanu? I don't think the Keanu factor played any part in that, other than like his obviously good performance for the character. Ma. He barky. You played the East games on the stick ages ago? It might be fun to bring out the clicky-clacky stick again sometime, just in my spare time. I wonder if there's specific games that would like feel better to play with a fight stick other than fighting games. Monster Hunter, maybe? If I can like macro some of the buttons. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I want to play board games with you too, Alex. Also, sorry I'm so far behind the chat. It's just like some very engaging conversations are happening. Yeah, why do I have to live so far away from my friends? And it's so hard to like get up and move too, because like living here is just like such a pleasant experience. Just being surrounded by the forest and everything. I think I understand why one of my friends moved to Washington State, because they have those forests, and they also have some of the most populated cities in the US. Maybe someday I'll move closer. But for now, I'm happy where I am, and that I can do so many cool things still, just being online. But yeah, I want to travel again at some point. Well, you hear a hound? Yeah. That was Samuel, up to his usual antics. Oh yeah, apps, that's true. There's Tabletop Simulator. That could be pretty fun. Yeah. That could even be a good, a fun streaming thing. But like, on occasion, I've found myself like playing games like not on stream, just privately with the Chrono Gear team, and that's really fun too. It's a nice change of pace. Definitely a different feeling compared to like streaming something. Nice. So Ferris says your resolution is to explore your backlog instead of just buying new games, so you can learn from them and maybe finally assemble a game project of your own. Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea too. Like, especially, I've noticed, like, even including myself, like people who play a lot of games on Steam will usually like have like a massive backlog of stuff that they bought on sale that takes like years to get around to playing. Hold on, I'm getting a DM. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Okay. Cool. Let me check my Steam backlog, actually. I'm curious now. Oh, come on, taskbar, where are you? Oh, yeah, I bought Elden Ring. Now, obviously, like, this month is going to be Mega Man, but, like, sometime in February, I'd love to, like, try playing that. I keep hearing that it's, like, a good entry point into, like FromSoft games. And I think what convinced me to finally get it is I watched my friend Trip play it on stream, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty doable. I think it's just that like I was worried that it was like based on footage that I've seen in the past, I was worried that it was just mostly just like super difficult boss fights back to back. But they have a lot of small fry in that world that is very easy to defeat and lets you farm experience. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to shake that impression because like all of the clips that people like capture of Elden Ring footage are of the really, really difficult parts, when in reality, those are only a part of like an entire game. Hope you have an Elden Ring build plan. I'm thinking I want to go tank, like super high defense, built mostly around blocking instead of dodging. But we'll see. We'll see what floats our boat once we get to that part. Gospel, so your goal is the same as every year, try to get a stable job. I wish you the best of luck. I hope this is the year. Oh, that's cool, real person. So for the tabletop RPG, you want to pull from aspects of your life. Yeah, you should. Like, you know how they always tell, like, rightists, like, rightists. What? Where did that come from? Rightists? Rightists? How do I word? I mean, technically that is like technically accurate. It's just like English not your first language kind of energy, which I did not expect from me. From me. Well, yeah, like the thing, like you know how they always tell like writers, write what you know. The same thing applies to games. Like you can apply like your own experiences to like a game narrative, whether it's a video game or like a tabletop game. Arters. Oh my gosh. I love talking with y'all. Will says the migration from 4.2 to 4.3 actually seemed to fix multiple small issues. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I felt it was worth it eventually because the number of things that would be fixed from upgrading far outpaced the number of things that would be broken from upgrading. So that is such a good thing. I'm so proud of the Godot community. They have so many volunteers helping to make it like the best game software they can. And it's all for free, which is just like so like astounding, and I'm very happy for that. I'm happy that we had actually had something decent to turn to after the whole Unity thing. Which I've even heard recently that Unity is still like hitting people for passing like certain income thresholds. And they're like, oh, you gotta buy a pro license now. Despite the fact that it's been like actual years since they even used the program. But like as long as you're selling a game made in Unity, if you like your entire studio makes it like more than a certain amount of money a year, you have to buy a pro license regardless of whether or not you're even using the software anymore. Which is not fun to think about. At least if we ever get to that point as a studio, it shouldn't be that big of a deal because it's just me as like the sole proprietor that has to get the license. So like, yeah, it sucks that they eat a part of our income past that point, but like, yeah. Well, Godot's here. And I'm very happy with Godot. Chris, this game's gonna be so good. If you're saying that, then I am definitely excited. Oh, Joker, you're gonna make a Sonic RPG fan game? Nice. Yeah, extra years of experience under your belt, Will. Yeah, that makes me curious to like I think I've said like a few times in the past that I kind of like played around with like a 3D racing project back in the day. Never really got that far with it, but it'll be interesting to see how I feel about it now that like so many years have passed. I think it'll be ultimately be for the better, if only because when you step away from a project for a few years, you go into it with completely fresh eyes, and things that you might have missed when you were working on it, you'll be able to catch. That's why first impressions are so important when it comes to testing games. So whenever I start bringing in testers to test one of our game projects, I'll bring in only a few at a time. So that way, we can adjust things based on the feedback of the first wave of testers. And then we fix that, and then we bring in the second wave to see if our fixes have a good effect on the first impression. Because you only get one shot at a first impression, and then after that, your tester is already familiar with the game. So yeah, that's why I always swear by like staggered like introducing of testers. Like bring them in waves. Like, don't bring them all in at once, because if you bring all of your testers in at the start of the project, they're going to be experts at the game by the time it's finished, and it won't leave. It'll be a lot more difficult to gauge how like a first-time player is going to experience things. Yeah, there are quite a few projects, especially in the fan game scene, that tend to fall in that trap. I do have a feeling that's what happened with ring racers. But sometimes it can't be avoided, like, especially if you're working on a project where you kind of need privacy. Like, it can take some doing to kind of like set things up to where like any testers that you bring in after the project has started are sworn to like the secret, you know? So I totally understand when it happens, and thankfully we live in an era where patches and updates after release are possible. So like, yeah, there's no better testing pool than the general public, I suppose. Papa. My glasses are very big. Oh, I have big glasses. I'm so sad. A few weeks ago, I sat on my favorite pair of glasses and they snapped in two. I loved those glasses. They were like black on the front side, but on the back side, they were like this lavender color. And I asked Mama Spacey if it was worth like trying to super glue them back together, but she was like, they never stick, no matter how much super glue you use. And I checked the website where I bought the glasses, and as I expected, like they only ever have any particular type of glasses for like, I don't know, like a few months, and then they retire them. No, because I wanted to buy the same pair again, but they're not making them anymore. Stinks. You know what I really want? I really want to see if I can find a place that sells glasses, like huge, like oversized round glasses like these. I want a pair of glasses like these in real life, but all of the stores that I find that are like in my home country, they don't have glasses in that shape unless they're very small. But I want a pair of oversized, like circular glasses. That would be so cute on my face shape. IRL. But I did buy a couple of new pairs of glasses that were kind of oversized, as oversized as I could find. So, you know, whatever. Maybe someday I'll find that magic pair of glasses that matches my VTuber. Yeah. Da, 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 da. You're gonna play it? You're gonna play your game, Will, and be like, oh god, what was I thinking? Oh, I feel that. Honestly, I feel that just like playing like games that I've finished in the past. Like, you know how often I flip-flop on the torture scene in Freedom Planet 1. Like, it's kind of weird. I alternate between, like, I wish I had never done this, and I appreciate this for setting the game apart from other stories of this ilk. But nowadays, I'm like, I can see both viewpoints. Where I appreciate what it did to help the game, like, stand out and, like, raise the stakes and make people care about the characters, but at the same time, I know how I could have improved the pacing so that it actually made, like, more thematic sense. Which, that juxtaposition between, like, the lighter and darker moments in the story, I feel like it suits this Hololive fan game that we're working on quite well. I think, like, this game, I've struck, like, very nearly a perfect balance. I mean, I guess we'll see once more people play it. But I think it does, like, a very good job of like, building up to those darker moments. Honestly, like, Freedom Planet 2 did as well. It did a pretty good job of building up to those moments. Like, anytime, like, Murga appeared on the screen, things would get more serious. So there was, like, an expectation that things would kind of go south by the time that you got to the halfway point. So, but there were still a few things in the story where I was like, oh, okay, I think maybe we should have, I think maybe the main thing that I took away is like, especially after working on, like, a character-centric narrative, like the kind in Chrono Gear, I think my main takeaway is that, like, maybe, like, next Freedom Planet game could be, like, a little less plot, a little more characters, a little more character interactions, because people are playing the game for the characters. They're experiencing the story for, like, the character interactions. Like, especially, like, the moments where, like, Lilac, Carol, Mila, and Nira are, like, interacting as a group, as a team, I think are, like, some of my personal highlights. And there's especially, like a moment in Perusa where, like, they kind of, like, all gather together, and Serpentine is there as well, and everybody's personalities are bouncing off each other, and it's so satisfying. Yeah, I gotta do more of that in the next Freedom Planet game. Very strong characters. Let them drive the story rather than some ancient history or something. That can still be a part of it, but it could just kind of, like, be, like, a little bit more in the background to give the characters breathing space. You want to make arcade style games, Chris? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm so far behind. But everybody's, like, saying so many cool things that I want to, like, comment on. So, Milky Crown, your resolution is to not buy anything except essentials. Nice. That's a very noble cause. Because I know it's all too tempting to kind of, like, go on, like, shopping sprees and stuff, especially with the way that like, ads and commercials, like, tempt you and stuff, and the way that people are tempted with, like, sales and everything. I know that could be, like, a very challenging thing, but I believe in you. Yeah. Oh, Allender Isaac, if you're still here, hello. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you have a happy new year as well. Oh, Willie, you kind of want Edge Drive on your project? Oh, honestly, mood. Like, if I make another game that has, like, traditional, like, tiles, like, very strong contender. Edge Drive has such a good style, oh my gosh. Wait, what? Oh, a Doom mod. I see what you're saying, Joker. There's gonna be another Monster Crown game? Oh, interesting. I saw a friend a few months ago play this game from Vanillaware. It's called Odin Sphere. It looks cracked. Oh my gosh, the art style was just, like, so gorgeous. I'm kind of upset that it's a PlayStation exclusive, because if I wanted to play it, I would have to drag my PS4 out of the basement and figure out something with the capture card. but it looks so good. It looks like right up my alley, like the way that it's got like this cutesy, like Freedom Planet-esque art style, but it has like a storyline that takes itself completely seriously. And like the first character that my friend played as, like, was very Nira coded. Like, she's got like this ice spear. It's very good. Okay, yeah, I want to play it sometime. You combine skills to literal special move inputs. Oh, Gwendolyn. Yeah, it was Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is very Nira core. So I appreciate that the Nira type is the first one that you play as. I think I'm gonna enjoy that. Ah. I've heard that I've seen that there's like a PS2 version, but like the one for PS4 is like way better. Oh, you played Unicorn Overlord and enjoyed it? Oh, yeah, that's a really neat art style too. And you can tell it's a Vanillaware game by the way that they draw food. They draw food in such an appetizing way. Oh my goodness. Oh, Desoria, welcome back. I'm just going through my backlog of comments. So Gondred says, this year, same as any year, you hope to do more game dev, 3D modeling, and programming. Maybe after Chrono Gear, you could apply for game dev jobs. Nice! I'm sure whatever you do, you'll be amazing at it. I have seen some of your work in progress 3D stuff that you've shown me in the past. Honestly, if I do a 3D game in the near future, I'll keep you in mind. We shall see. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to work on after Chrono Gear's done. I might like take a few months and just like bask in the glory. And then depending on like the reception to it, I could maybe like iterate on top of the Chrono Gear engine for a new project, or I could pivot back to the racing game project I want to do. We shall see. We shall see. I definitely will take a few months though. Oh my gosh, things have been moving so quickly. You're drawing right now, Kitty Doll? Let's go! Oh, Doggo, for your goals this year, you're gonna start small, get back into drawing for fun, and then make maps for ring racers. Yeah! Oh my gosh! Yeah, like, I want to finish my ring racer sprite too. Honestly, it'd be really cool if I could commission a ring racer sprite from somebody who knows the style really well. Especially if it's like, I'm kind of thinking I want to start over, because my 2.0 is going to come out this year. And I think the new design would translate really well into ring racers. Let's just say that. Don't want to spoil anything, but I will drop maybe a little bit of a teaser on my 3-year anniversary, which is on the 15th of this month. And let me take a sippy. Oh my goodness. Yomi Duty got that comedy nerve. How far behind am I? It feels like ages ago I talked about Yomi. Yeah, the Sonic movie. Always down for a good hunt. Yeah, last time was really fun. Also, Blake, thank you for getting me Iceborne. Thank you for getting me Iceborne. Ah! So in the expansion, does that let you have like decorative armor out of the gate? Or is it still something that you have to unlock later in the game? Oh, great. Yeah, you saw old VODs of my previous model? Yeah. Beta Telly, as I call her. She had like more of like a gothic style that was like a bit more mature. This new, I'd say like Spacey Bat 2.0 upcoming. Like I'm definitely like switching themes. I'm de-emphasizing the racing aspect, but you'll see. Blake says your resolution is to simply get your game in a working state. That is a noble goal, and I wish you luck with it. Oh. Will I be soloing anyone in Elden Ring? We'll see. We'll see. I've never played a FromSoft game before, so I could be secretly cracked at it. I could be awful at it, so we'll just have to see. But my friend Yomi, I think Elden Ring was her first FromSoft game, and she ended up being cracked at it. So I have hopes. World design is really nice. Yeah, it looks really nice. Oh, Melon, hello! If you're still here, hope you're doing well. And congratulations on Carol Quest 64 zooming past its funding goal on Kickstarter. I'm so proud of you. And I very much look forward to helping you publish. And I gotta play the demo at some point too. It's a goal. So Jasorio, your goal for this year is to just get better, be a better version of you. That is very good. Honestly, I wish more people would have goals like that. Because sometimes they kind of set their expectations too high, and that ultimately leads to disappointment in themselves, which I don't want for anybody. So if you keep your goal humble like that, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how far it takes you. Just passing by, you're sick at the moment. Oh, I hope you feel better soon, Melon. Leo, Happy New Year to you as well if you're still here. You look cute with the glasses on. Thank you, Leo. But of course, these are digital glasses, so there's no risk of them breaking by accidentally sitting on them. At least I still have the pair of broken glasses. I'm gonna keep them, just to see if maybe in the future, if I end up going into the city or something and I run into like an eyeglass place, if there's anything they can do to fix it. Oh, Ezra says, Spacey, I'm dead serious. If you ask me, the likelihood of me joining you on any project is like incredibly high. I love working with you. I love working with you too. Oh my gosh. Like your energy and everything, and the way and the amount of thought and care that you put into your environments, and the way that you draw inspiration from real world cultures is just like it's so good. That's honestly like one of the best tips I can give anybody who's working on an environment for a video game. Like, look up like real world references. In fact, just look up references that are outside of video games. You would be very surprised at how often that ends up inspiring you to create something that's wholly unique and hasn't been seen before in a video game. I'm gonna take another sippy. Oh my goodness. So much chatty, this is fun. Vanillaware has top tier art. Yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of interesting too, because I can tell that they're kind of like a lot of their animations, they have the character separating into parts, and they just kind of rotate those parts. So it's kind of cool how far they can get from that. Okay, Tyler says your resolution is to hopefully finish the basic parts of your mod project. Let's go. It's gonna be a bit. Okay. So Kiyomi Zumiya says that your resolution is to learn Synthwave 5. Nice. I hope it leads to the creation of many cool things. Would Beta Telly be considered version 0? I'd say so, yeah. And my current model is 1.5. Well, technically 1.0, but like 1.5 was when I got more accessories for myself. Oh, Waterblood. Yeah, I've seen a few people play Another Crab's Treasure. Yeah, that looks like a fun take on. It's kind of hard to believe like a game with that like aesthetic and art style is actually a Souls-like, but I see it. Hope you can get them repaired and replaced soon. It's not happening. Like, no matter how much you try to super glue a pair of glasses back together, it's just not. It's not gonna stick. It's not, even if it does, it's just never gonna like feel the same on your head anymore. You're getting combo today? Yeah, get loved on, nerd. Taxidermy! Ah! Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh, it's been forever, dude. Hi. Bananas. Rotate. Banana. Oh my gosh. Like, back when you like revealed that you were working on Deltarune, I was like, let's freaking go. But like looking back, like at the stuff that you worked on prior to that, I was like, this makes absolute sense. Like your style of like character design and like your sense of humor, perfect fit. I need to play Deltarune chapter 1 and 2 now that 3 and 4 are coming out this year. Toby Fox has confirmed it. We're getting 3 and 4 this year. So I still need to play the first 2 chapters. They're free, so it's just a matter of finding the time for it. Wow. Haven't swung by in a hot minute. Yeah. I hope your rain project is going well. I've been looking forward to that ever since it was announced too, and I really like the fact that you gave like the player character sassy dialogue options. I am totally gonna play like that when it comes out. Rain product. Right. Rain Shade. That was the name, right? Well, even your rains. It's going through an interesting rework right now. Oh, I see. Graphically, or just in terms of like structure, like. But yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good. So good. Hope for 2.0 we'll get the tracker suit. I will say for 2.0, I am getting my pedal camera updated. So when I play racing games, you'll still be able to see my feet working the gas. I always felt like that was like one of the most like unique like aspects of my layout. I haven't seen any other VTuber have like a pedal cam to where like you can see exactly when I'm hitting the gas, when I'm hitting the brakes. Well, not necessarily hitting the brakes, but when I'm letting go. Which is kind of a cool like reference if you're trying to beat certain sections of a racing game on your own. So that you'll know like exactly when you should let up and make the turn. Because in most like racing games where it's more realistic, you can't go full gas into a corner. You have to slow down in advance. And in the more hardcore simulators, you actually have to hit the brakes and then you do the turn. So yeah, that's getting updated with it. I think the only prop that isn't going to be in 2.0 is my game controller, but that's just because it takes a little bit more to set up. But maybe like in 2.5 I could add it back in. Also, yeah, I didn't know you had a Twitch account, Taxidermy. Let me give that a follow. In fact, I will give you a shout out. There you go. How do I close this? There we go. How many chapters are there going to be? I'm not sure. Like, I haven't played Deltarune before, so I haven't been keeping up with, like, the community stuff. Because I don't want to be spoiled. Oh, wait! You're going 3D with Rain Shade? Let's go! That actually sounds really awesome, and I think that's gonna help streamline the character creation process, because I know that in some of the builds that you showed off in the past, you could pick like different like ear types and face types for the main character. So that's one benefit of 3D, is that even though programmatically it's more difficult, in terms of like having like custom outfits and stuff, it takes less work, because like you can have everything share the same rig. It's just a matter of swapping like the models and the colors and stuff. But it's a fixed camera, so the gameplay is mostly the same. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's smart. Especially when it does come to like character customization, and you can even do stuff like swap outfits if you wanted to, and it's like way easier than redrawing every single like animation in pixel art. That's something that I've always like lamented. Like, even though I'm very comfortable in pixel art and I think like it's like my forte, I lament the fact that it is so difficult to have alternate outfits for your character. And if it were any easier, I would just like go like ham with like having different like customizable outfits for your characters. Maybe like that's definitely something I want to do, like when we like make a 3D game someday. Is I want fashion choices. I want to dress up in different ways and allow players to do so. Yeah, I've always like been interested in the way that you kind of use your umbrella to reflect projectiles and stuff. But it does seem like like just straight up working in 3D is gonna like solve so many issues with like jumping between like collision layers. Yeah, Doggo, I'm working on a 2.0 model, and it's gonna be my new default. It's like everything's gonna change. My stream overlay, like my aesthetic, like yeah, like all the graphic design UI in my streams is also getting changed. So it's quite exciting. And the graphic design side of things is actually almost done, and oh my gosh, I'm so hyped. You haven't streamed anything in a long time, but you want to stream a couple things this year. Let's go! Yeah, I'll look forward to however you choose to express your creative output. Oh, back. Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, like that's something I'm curious about too. I'm guessing they're just gonna put Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, like, you know, for sale on the usual places, you know, like in the eShop and on Steam and everything. And then 1 and 2 will just be free. The player character is a huge part of the jump, along with the boss fights. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, big old boss fights can be a bit tricky, but they look a little less janky in 3D if you just like increase the scale. Also, the fixed camera means you can still use 2D assets. Oh, well, that's actually a really cool idea, and that kind of harkens back to you know, PS1 era of games, where like a lot of like RPG games on the PS1, for example, would have like pre-rendered backgrounds, and it's mostly just the character sprites that are the 3D parts. That's a really smart move. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see how that works out. Another example I can think of too is the Sonic Rush series on the Nintendo DS. Yeah, the Sonic Rush games, like they were entirely 2D except for the players, like the characters, and then they were like the 3D models in the environment, and I guess the bosses too. The boss fights are like full 3D. Even if 3D is pretty tricky, since additional bones or physics may be necessary for some outfits. Yeah, that's true.
My stones! We have a new record!
My stones! We have a new record! Well, your excitement is very motivating. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. I've been like, no matter how many years pass, I still like think fondly of what you have shown of that project. So I personally am quite excited, and I'll wait as long as it needs to, as long as I need to wait. Yeah. Well, Alfie was saying like sometimes with new outfits, you do have to kind of like tweak the rigging to make it so that the clothing doesn't accidentally clip through the character model, especially if the new clothes like are like have like capes or cloaks or whatever, or if the character like has a big old fluffy tail, and you need to make sure that the clothes do not clip into the tail. Oh, Haidon says, that's reminding you of a joke about making games. Like, you ask a dev, can you make a gun that shoots other guns that explode in the shower of bullets on impact? Yeah, sure, easily. But then it's like, can you add a scarf to the character? Yeah, stuff that would obviously like be a lot more difficult to do in real life ends up being way easier to do in the realm of programming video games. Whereas like some of the more mundane stuff, like just having hair that blows in the wind, that would just be super easy to do in real life, is like requires super complex physics calculations in the world of video games. Yeah, Custodon, Final Fantasy VII is another example of pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D models. Sonic Rush. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play the Rush games on stream or the advanced games. We'll see. Maybe if I run out of Sonic games to play in the future. Oh, Taxidermy says there's a character very much based on Blaze the Cat. Nice. Let's go. Yeah, Blaze is low-key one of my favorites in the entire series. like I always got to go up to bat for my boy Tails first. But then below Tails, I'd say it's a toss-up between Shadow and Blaze. But like Shadow gets more opportunities to like do cool things, like in the role of a protagonist. So that's nice. I just wish that Blaze got more opportunities. Because she's such a cool character design. She's literally the only reason that I even played the Rush games. Yeah, exactly, Alfie. Always worth taking on the challenge. You'll learn something new by the end, even if the results weren't exactly what you hoped for or expected. You'll still learn something. And, like, even if you just even get, like, decent results, even if they're not as much as you hoped for, it's still a valuable learning experience for the next time that you iterate on that idea. And then you'll get to where you originally envisioned it. The outfits are being designed with bone economy in mind. Let's go. Nice. Oh, newbie around. The movie? You mean Sonic 3? It was awesome. Oh my gosh. And like I was talking about it earlier in the stream, but Mama Spacey was there. She knew nothing about Shadow the Hedgehog going into it, but like she loved him going out of it. And it wasn't just because of Keanu Reeves. It was just because like she was very sympathetic toward the character. So suffice to say, once my Shadow the Hedgehog Nendoroid comes in the mail, and I pull it out of the package, she's gonna be like, "Oh, it's Shadow." When is that coming? I pre-ordered that like half a year ago. I'm gonna look for. I think I got an email about it at some point. Let's see. Good Smile. It says it's shipped for the US. Yeah, I ordered it back in July. So I got an email on November 18th saying that it was booked for shipment to the US and will be arriving in the next couple months. Okay, yeah, it has been a couple months, hasn't it? So I'm guessing I'll get it like this month. I'm so excited. And the other cool thing too is that Oro Crony is getting an Android in the future. So whenever that comes out, I'm gonna order it frame 1 And then I'm gonna set up both Nendos to do the meme where it's like I think we have to kill this guy, Shadow. And then he's like, damn. That's like it's kind of funny that I know exactly how I'm gonna set them up once I have both of them. Just sorry, I was like, it cost $420,000 to program a scarf movement for 3 seconds. Old tech demos back in the early 2000s be like, yeah, we made that scarf move. Oh, yeah. The other thing I'm really excited about for this year, I don't know if this year is going to be the year or if it'll be next year, but like Sky Oblivion, it looks so good. It's basically like an entire, like they're porting the entirety of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion into the Skyrim engine. And they're remaking all of the 3D models from scratch for copyright reasons, but like everything's done completely from scratch and it looks like incredible. From like I watched the most recent video that they put up detailing their progress. They said that they're looking for assistance in a few areas, but oh my goodness. It would be so nice to just like experience Oblivion's world in a more stable engine. Because I remember when I first played Oblivion on the Xbox 360, it was an experience. And it'll be nice to play Oblivion like in a context where like the character models are way better, because I remember like playing through Oblivion and like everybody looks exactly the same. Like you can tell they're all built from the same like base human model. So the fact that they're going to be in the Skyrim engine means that there's like a lot more room to have more unique like faces and stuff. Yeah, Oblivion did have weird faces, didn't it? Hoping Blaze gets her own game that takes place in the Soul Dimension. Yeah, me too. I wanted that so bad when I was younger, to the extent that was my first idea for like a fan game before I started working on the fan game that would eventually become Freedom Planet 1. Freedom Planet 1 came kind of close to being a Blaze fan game. But then I was like, nah, let's just do original content. I mean, like enough of my friends back then had encouraged me to just like go for it. And I'm glad that I made the push. Yeah. Yeah, Katsudan, even in modern times, like clipping is kind of not really that big of a deal if it only happens like every so often. Like as long as the model like looks good when it's standing still, then that's fine enough for most players. So it's definitely like a luxury thing that most people don't really have to worry about that much. You thought they shipped already? Yeah, I thought so too, Alex. After I got the email, I was like, oh, okay, this is shipping soon. But I guess I didn't pay attention to the line in the email where they said next couple months. And it's funny too, because I've seen like a few screenshots on Blue Sky of people who like had Shadow Nendos. So I'm guessing it's gotta be in the next few weeks. But that'll be super nice. I still think it's really funny that that the color of the Chaos Emerald that comes with the Shadow Nendo is exactly the same as the 4th Chaos Emerald in Shadow the Hedgehog. So he literally has that damn 4th Chaos Emerald. Shadow the Hedgehog GPS tracker? What? Where did that come from? And why does it sound so cool? Turn left at the next corner. Da, 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 da. Sky Oblivion is due to release sometime this year. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Rubbing my hands together. there's quite a lot of like fantasy themed open world games that have caught my eye for this upcoming year. So I guess we're gonna be playing more of that as one of my goals this year, I suppose. Sippy water and stretch. Oh, thank you for care combo, Dominic. Alright, I'll take Sippy and Stretchy. Yeah, I remember like the first time, very first time that I heard about Oblivion was, I was subscribed to Game Informer at the time. So I got their magazine sent to our house every month. So that was way back during like the Xbox 360 era, even a little bit before then, I think. And I remember, yeah, it was before then. Like literally the very first issue of Game Informer that touched on the Xbox 360, which was up and coming, was like dedicated to Bethesda's upcoming Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And like they had like the Imperial Guard on the front cover and everything. And then like I remember reading the article about like the sneak preview of everything and just like being completely blown away at what you would be able to do in the game. Like, oh my gosh. And I was blown away at like the graphics and everything. I thought they looked like photorealistic at the time. Those were the days back when technology in the gaming sphere was like evolving so quickly that every single console generation was like a noticeable increase in graphical fidelity. Nowadays, I feel like I feel like we've kind of reached a limit. I think nowadays what matters more is the art direction of individual games and not so much the technology of the processing power of the consoles. Like there are games that are coming out on current consoles that like look leaps and bounds more graphically impressive than games on the same console. But yeah, back then it was the power of the consoles themselves that kind of stole the spotlight. And yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like it's gonna be like the most like open game that's ever been made. And then of course it came out, and I had a good time with it, honestly, when it came out. Like, I only really think about like the janky character models and like all the bugs and glitches like years after the fact, but at the time when I was playing it with fresh eyes, I was like, yeah, this is really great. I love this game. But yeah, of course nowadays, like, it almost feels like I find myself going back to Morrowind more than I do Oblivion. I feel like Morrowind's reached the point where like it's like super dated, low poly models kind of have like an old school like retro charm to them. Oblivion's still kind of like in the middle ground where like it feels like they were still kind of finding their groove in terms of like graphical fidelity. But yeah, like the past few times that I've played through Morrowind, I have played through it like trying to be as pacifist as possible. And it's a very interesting challenge. It also makes it so that I don't have to bother with the janky combat mechanics. Because you don't have to worry about the combat system if you don't engage in combat in the first place. Adoring fan in HD. Oh my gosh, now that you mention it, Taxidermy, I wonder how they're gonna handle the Adoring fan in Sky Oblivion. I hope they keep his like face like as close to the original as possible. Just because I think it'd be a funny throwback. Bayazora, it's the Grand Champion! A Blaze / Rouge heist game? Oh, that's a really interesting concept. I haven't heard someone pair like Blaze and Rouge in a gameplay context before. I almost feel like they'd kind of be at odds with each other because Blaze has the soul emeralds and Rouge wants jewels. So I don't know how it'd work out. I guess they would kind of like have like a like a begrudging respect for each other. You played Oblivion exactly once. You couldn't play longer than 20 minutes because the faces were too ugly. Yeah. Yeah, like back when it was new, it was easier to forgive because everything else in the game was just like so impressive. I remember in the jail cell you start out in, like they were showing gameplay footage of it for the first time, and they were showing how you could like click your mouse and like drag and swing some of the chains around. And I was like, whoa, the physics. And then of course, Patrick Stewart comes in as Emperor Uriel Septim, and you're like, whoa, how'd they get him? I wonder if they're keeping Uriel's voice lines in Sky Oblivion, or if they're gonna like redub them. I guess it depends on like copyright stuff. Like if they're still like legally allowed to use the original voice clips from Oblivion. You love the sneaky stuff Guilty Gear does to prevent clipping? Oh yeah. Guilty Gear's like whole art style is just like such an inspiration. The way that they have the 3D models, but they're rendered in such a way that they feel like hand-drawn 2D sprites. It's actually amazing. And there's like certain like animations I've seen, even though I've never played a Guilty Gear game, but I've seen like some of the animation work in that. It's just like, you know they're just flexing at that point. But that's honestly like, if I could figure out how to replicate the Guilty Gear style of like 3D models that appear to be like hand-drawn, that would be really cool for like a 3D action game. Like an action platformer. Like imagine like Chrono Gear 3D and we've got like fan-made like versions of like the Hololive girls, and they're drawn to kind of look like a comic book style. That'd be pretty cool. Hafshi! Hi! Hafshi bro, hope you're doing well. Welcome Raiders! I'm Spacey Baltotelli. I'm a Get to Tier Bat and a game developer, and we are kicking off 2025, our first stream of 2025, just like talking about our plans and various other topics such as video games and game development. Yeah, I hope you all had a good New Year's celebration. Yeah, that too taxidermy. The way the Guilty Gear just renders an entire character separately and then renders the other so that they kind of like, they never clip into each other. They're just layered like completely separately, like sprites would be. It's so good. It's very impressive. Why does your GPS have hero, neutral, and dark routes? Don't miss that damn fourth turn. Yeah, I did too, S-Lax. I feel like I probably would have tried Oblivion anyway, even if I hadn't played Morrowind beforehand. But I had played Morrowind before. I played the Game of the Year edition on the Xbox, which ironically is one of the worst ways you can experience Morrowind. But I still enjoyed my time. I still sunk so many hours into it. It was kind of a retreat for me during a time in my life where I was not in a good headspace. Art direction greater than pure graphics. Yeah, exactly. Ah. Oh, yeah, that too, like modern games. They are like actually hundreds of gigabytes, and it's so insane. Oh. It's at the point now where like it's just like a breath of fresh air when an indie game is only a few hundred megabytes. Even though that's still a lot. Heck, like anything less than a gigabyte is like slim in my book. Wow. Technology. Have I seen Project Cyrodiil? I have not. Is that for a different engine? I saw there was a project that was like backporting Skyrim to Morrowind, which was kind of interesting. And it's not like a straight port either. It's like they're translating like Skyrim's map into the style of Morrowind. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting what if. What if you could actually go to Skyrim in the base game? Oh, yeah, Ashraf, I remember that. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, Blaze and Rouge interacted. Really? So F says, fun fact, the devs called the random face button in Oblivion the ugly button. I vaguely remember, like, if you press the random button, you get, like, very nonsensical results. Whoa, oh, that sounds really cool. That sounds really good, 9bat. Avocado toast with chili powder. Ooh. It's been a while since I just had straight up avocado toast. Like, usually when we get avocados, we make guac. Yeah, Leo! If you look at the pinned message, Freedom Planet 2 has a physical edition now that you can pre-order at Limited Run Games. And it's only available for limited time, so get your copy today. And in addition to that, we recently teamed up with Melon Speedruns to on Carol Quest 64, which is on Kickstarter right now. There's an ongoing Kickstarter campaign. It has reached its goal, so thank you all so much for that. Glad you've gotten to a better headspace nowadays. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I'm in a much better headspace these days. Yeah. Like I feel like a big part of it is just that, like, I'm at that age now where I know exactly what I want out of life, and I know exactly what my limits are, and what I'm capable of, what I could improve on, and it's just a lot easier to introspect. So you'll find that you'll find that out if you're not as old as I am yet. Yeah, you're like being in my 30s is so nice. Well, Anvil and Project Serial Deal is massive, much bigger than the Oblivion version. Oh, yeah, I heard something about that for Sky Oblivion, where a lot of the cities, like the cities that are supposed to be bigger, have been expanded to like actually like capture the scale of the original concept art, which is really cool to see. It's one of the things I'm excited about. Like, I think the thing I'm excited about most for it is just like exploring, like not even the main quest line or anything. Toast with mango lime salsa. That sounds really delicious, Notikin. Lance Charleston. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I hope it's off to a good start. Also, thank you, Alex, for the linky to Carol Quest 64. That's a good place in life to be. Knowing yourself and your capabilities can take some time, and it's cool that you've made it. Thank you. Yeah, avocados can be a bit tricky to get right. I guess it depends on what you're making. But I think we've got a pretty good formula for guac, like at my house. But the only thing is that, like, I wouldn't call it like bitterness, but maybe it feels like it tastes a bit saltier than you would expect. So I gotta think about how to add more of that like sweetness that guacamole has in restaurants. Oh, yeah, I remember that line. Revenge guac. Oh my goodness. Alright, I'm gonna take a sippy. You add a little lime juice to the guac? Oh, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Alex. We usually only have lemon juice. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. Okay. Add lime juice to guac to make it less bitter. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, Saphira, hello! Happy New Year! Nice sippy time. So yeah, that's those are my plans for this year. Honestly, like a lot of the stuff that I have planned is kind of front loaded into the first half of the year. And that might work out for the best because I have said that I kind of want to take a break for a few months after Chrono Gear's done. But like this is the first time in recent memory where I've had like all of my goals front loaded to the first half instead of like throughout the entire year. Yeah, I should rest a little bit. I think the only like question mark I have right now is what Mega Man game I should play first. Like I said, I have a few things that I'm looking at. I'm interested in playing through Wily Wars for one. I should probably get X6 over with. Yeah, I could get X6 over with tomorrow. I'll play Tweaks. Make sure I get Zero ending, and then next week we can start playing through the Zero series. Spacey Balls will tell you should take a 2-day nap once Chrono Gear's out. Yeah. Just like doing nothing but sleeping for 2 days sounds actually incredible. I wish I had that luxury right now, but I still do what I can to get like a decent night's sleep. Last night I thought I was coming down with a cold or something, because like last night I felt like absolute crap. Like around 10 p.m. I started like getting that funky feeling that I usually do before I get sick. And then so I went in bed, and I have like for the past few months I've been sleeping with like a heated, like it's not a full blanket. It's like a heated pad that like covers my back. So I put that in my bed, and I have it heat up my back for an hour, and it really helps with like blood circulation. I think that made the difference last night, because when the way it heated up my back and increased blood flow, that probably helped like the body like shake off whatever it was that was bothering me. And by the time morning rolled around, I felt fine. It also helps a lot if you have immune boosters, which I have elderberry gummies for that purpose. So I'm gonna keep taking elderberry gummies and vitamin C for a few more days just to make sure that it's actually like not gonna come. Yeah, it probably is the weather. I'm tempted to say that maybe it was because going to the movie theater for Sonic 3 yesterday was like the first time that was it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was the first time in a while that I've been outside the house, so maybe I caught it from somebody, but I don't think I would have felt sick that quickly after coming home. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that game's name, just Soriel. I don't even know what it is, though. Oh, thank you, Alex, for the love beams. We will see if they did the trick. Yeah, like, X6 isn't, like, as bad as people, like, say it is, but it's still kind of, like, it's not finished. And there's just, like, so many, like, examples of, like, obviously fake difficulty that they didn't have time to iron out. I get the sense that, like, the level design that's there was built with the ultimate armor in mind. Like, maybe the people who were testing the game, like, kept testing it with the ultimate armor. Even though that's something that you only get through a cheat code. But, like, yeah. But there is a fan patch for X6 called X6 Tweaks that I've been keeping my eye on. And it doesn't fix everything, but it is a marked improvement. It feels like what X6 should have felt like if it had just another month or two of development. So I'm curious about that, how it affects things. So yeah, I could try that tomorrow. I just have to figure out how to use the patcher tool. But yeah, like after that, I'll take the weekend off, and then we could spend next week doing Mega Man Zero stuff. Maybe, yeah, maybe have like another dev stream that Friday. Oh my gosh, I tried, yeah. But yeah, like, it's kind of weird. Like, the first time that I played X6 and I booted it up, I got the same feeling that it felt like a ROM hack of X5. I think that's the best way I can describe X6. It feels like a fan-made ROM hack rather than an official product. But unfortunately, it is an official product, so. The perils of Christmas rushing. Thankfully, that practice mostly seems to be over. Or at least less of an issue because of how, like, patches exist now. I don't know if I'm gonna play X7, though. I guess if I run out of, like, Mega Man games to play sometime, I could soldier through X7 and then go to X8. I mean, like, I've watched X7 plenty of times. You can also skip it, yeah. Like, at least, like, the nice thing about X7 is that its storyline seems to be pretty self-contained. Like, none of the villains that are introduced in X7, like, ever appear again. Like, other than Sigma, obviously. I will say, I really like Sigma's voice actor in X7. He's got this, like, guttural growl that is just, like, so, ugh. It's so cool. It gives me chills. And, like, it's kind of weirdly unfitting for him, but it's still cool. Like, it's weirdly unfitting in the sense that he kind of, like, I get more of, like, a thug bandit vibe from X7 Sigma's voice than I do, like, X's arch nemesis from past games. But it's got its own flavor to it that is, like, I kind of dig. Like, the voice of X7 Sigma, like, I can just close my eyes and imagine him riding, like, a Harley or something. You're streaming your rules? Yeah, we'll see. Justorio, I'm tempted to say maybe 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not sure. All I remember is that I remember, like, Mega Man 7, like, they made it in only 3 months. And I remember, like, hearing about some developer interviews with the team back then about, like, how stressful that was for them and how much work it took. And, like, they would, like, stay, like, overnight at the studio and, like, every minute counted. But it's incredibly nuts to me that Mega Man 7 was made in 3 months. Like, actually insane. Zero and Red. Yeah, Zero and Red also have good voices in X7. Yeah, I feel like Axel's voice, if it were for like a you know, like a short sidekick, someone who's a little bit more goofy, it would have fit, but for how serious Axel is supposed to be, maybe it was a miscast. But I'm pretty sure, like, the voice actor who voiced Axel did what they could with the material they were provided, because Capcom back then was not very, like, experienced with voice direction, it feels like. Yeah, that's the craziest part to me, Doggo, is that not only did Mega Man 7 only take 3 months to make under extreme crunch conditions, but it actually turned out amazing in the end. I don't even know if I can even consider it crunch, considering that it wasn't, they were never really pressured, as far as I can tell, into finishing it that quickly. It was just something that they wanted to do. You love the cast in X8? Yeah. X8's cast is great. Isn't X in X8, his voice actor, is that the same one as in Maverick Hunter X? I think it was. And I think that was the whole like inspiration behind the way they handled the voice direction in Maverick Hunter X, because they came out around the same time. You know, Katsudan, like, yeah, Flame Hieronar doesn't really bother me that much for some reason. I don't know why, maybe it's just because he's funny. Like it gets to a point where it's kind of like so obnoxious that it kind of loops around to being entertaining. Yeah, it doesn't bother me either. Like people remember Flame Highnard because of that. Because they didn't have any cooldown on his voice clips. Like it's annoying, sure, but that just makes that particular robot master stand out among all the others. And all the others have kind of dorky lines too. Yeah, that's exactly Kitty Doll. It's an example of it's so bad, it's good. Like, I feel like that's the reason anybody even plays X7 still, is just to kind of like be fascinated by the so bad it's good like effect. Okay, Maverick Hunter X, X8, and Command Mission share the same voice cast. Yeah, that's kind of that's something that I always thought was really cool too. Is that like X's voice actor? He just had that handful of voice acting roles. He absolutely crushed them, and then he decided it's not for me, and then he went to be a dentist. I love that. Like, that's like a Renaissance mindset. You try something just because you can, and you can feel proud of yourself for having accomplished it. And then if later on you decide that it's not like a full career path you want to pursue, you can shift to something else. I've thought about doing that sometimes with like motorsports. I wish there was like a track that near, like within driving distance of my house, where I could just like race in my car and like actually get really good at it. Maybe someday, especially if I like move at addresses. It'd be cool to try that for a while and just like put like game stuff to the wayside just to see how good I get at it. If at all. and then like months later, I could be like, okay, I've had my fun, back to game development. Yeah, no car tracks. Yeah, I would probably have to like join like a track club. Because a lot of the major like racetracks around here have like clubs and memberships that you can be a part of, and they allow you to like rent time at the track. But I think the closest one to my address is like 4 hours away. So it's like, yeah, it's not happening. I remember one time, before I moved up here, I was approached at the gas station. Like I was gassing my car up. And you know, it's like, it's a super nice, like Subaru WRX that I've had for a decade. But I was gassing it up, and like this other like WRX driver was like very curious. So like we talked cars for like a few minutes, and then he mentioned that he was part of a Subaru club in the area, and I don't remember what he said, so I could never follow up on it. Not that it really mattered though, because it was like a few weeks before I was set to move up here anyway. But it makes me wonder, what if there's always little like situations like that in life where like years later you kind of like think back on those moments and be like, what if I committed to that instead? And like before I started working on Chrono Gear, I had severe doubts about making a HoloLive fan game, because like the VTubing space moves so quickly, and like I knew even back then that there was a chance that some of the characters that we would feature in a fan game, if I were to hypothetically make one, might not even be around by the time it's finished, given my track record of how long my games usually take. And on top of that, there's the fact that VTubers aren't like necessarily entirely fictional characters. Like they're based on real people. So it takes like an incredible amount of trust to like make a game based off of VTuber. So I had serious reservations like out of the gate, but the more I thought about it, the more that what if question kind of like sunk in my mind. What if I don't do this in years down the road? I wonder what would have happened if I had done it. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons that I just like went for it. And you know, like another reason being that there were just like a lot of little things that I learned about like Oro Crony over those few weeks where I was deciding, like a lot of little things like started adding up where I was like, my usual type of game that I usually make could actually be perfect for this character. So yeah. Yeah, life is full of those what if situations, and it kind of gives you a glimpse into maybe like an alternate timeline where like, what if you did this thing different? What if you pursued this instead? Very interesting to think about. Spacey joins the racing track club, takes taste racing experiences from the time there, implement those in the game, profit. Oh yeah, gospel. Yeah, like I had such a fascination with driving. It started at a very young age. And even though I don't drive as much nowadays as I used to, like cars are just still like so fascinating to me. Like these big metal machines that were like constructed, maybe not necessarily by human hands, but with human like engineering, to like for like such a very specific purpose, and they do it so perfectly. It's like, how did this get built? This is like a work of art. It's not just a machine. Like even certain like civilian cars are like artistic in a way almost. Like some of the most elegant like pieces of engineering ever made. I appreciate it, and like from an artistic perspective, I would say. And yeah, that's kind of what like got me into like being like a speedy Bato who likes racing and stuff. Yeah. Spacey the car dancer. Yeah. So glad that you committed. People are gonna love Chrono Gear. Oh my gosh, you all are not ready. You all are not ready. I said this at the start of the stream, but like when we're just like a few weeks away from releasing the game, I want to make a pitch video that kind of like outlines specifically why I would highly recommend the game to people who like the Freedom Planet games, but may not have heard of this fan game that we're working on. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Well, taking the trophy. Yeah, I got like a little trophy there in the shelf back there. I like that you have like that racing shelf. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have not switched cars in 10 years. I've had the exact same car for a decade, and it still runs as good as it did when I first bought it. It's honestly kind of nuts, because like growing up, like my parents, well, first my parents and then all of my siblings and us, we would usually keep a car for like around 3 years, and then it would start to have problems, and then we would trade it out for a different car. So like we would alternate cars like every like 2 or 3 years, depending. So to have the same car for this long is just feels like a blessing, honestly. But I also feel like it's gonna make it that much harder to actually like get a new car someday once this one starts like wearing down. Because it's like, oh my gosh, this car and I have been through everything together. Like literally like an entire lifetime ago, I bought that car. And like when the day comes where I finally have to get a new one, what are cars going to be like at that point? Will I feel comfortable in the latest like Subaru model compared to the one that I know and love? And furthermore, if I decide that I don't want that kind of change and I try to get a car from the same year as the one that I currently have, how expensive is it going to be to get one in a decent condition? I suppose that's a sign that I'm getting older, is that I try to hang on to stuff from my era, I guess. Well, Katsunan says, what if is something you tell yourself a lot, because you're wanting to try to make a game yourself, which is something you're really trying to do. And yeah, you get scared wondering if this can turn into something you always wanted to be, but you gotta get to the end first before you can find an answer. Yeah, that's a mood. That's why I feel like it never really hurts to give something a fair shake. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not wasted time. It's experience built up for wherever life takes you next. So if you feel in your heart that you want to try something just to see if it's something that'll be up your alley, go for it. No harm in trying. Especially if you have like the mindset that like you might not be that good at it initially, but then you just like kind of force yourself to commit for just a little bit more, just to see if there's kind of, you get kind of a spark from it, you know? Yeah, Edge Drive, I know, like I've met so many cool people, like as a result of making Chrono Gear. It just like makes me think like these are people that I never would have met if I didn't take that leap, which is kind of nuts to think about. And it makes me think that like there are people out there that I've not met yet that I would be extremely good friends with if I ever invited them to a project. So it makes me want to keep going. It makes me want to keep making more games so that I can meet more people that I vibe with. Yeah, I'm in the house. I'm in the house like carpet. I love that meme. I just like Toby Fox's sense of humor. It's like surreal humor. Gonna hop on and get some work done. No problem, Taxiderby. Probably not here anymore, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that your 2025 is amazing. Your dad's been driving the same truck for 20 plus years. That's, oh yeah. Like if you want a vehicle that will last literally the rest of your life, you want a truck. Like I'm not a truck girl, but I will admit that trucks are like leaps and bounds more durable than sports cars. Like they are actually genuinely built to last a lifetime if you take care of them. Like even especially like back in like the 50s, 60s, 70s before like cars were more like mass manufactured, I suppose. And back when the technology was still kind of exponentially growing, they actually built most cars with the expectation that they would be passed down from generation to generation. So they purposely made the engine bays much bigger than they needed to be, so that it would be easy for a human to maintain them. Nowadays, however, with the relentless march of technology, the engine bays like are just crammed with so much more stuff, like everything from like computers to other like engine components, because machines do that now. It's kind of interesting. You can kind of like, if you're familiar with cars, you can kind of pinpoint like the exact like decade where certain manufacturers started pivoting from human maintenance to machine maintenance. You miss old maintainable economy cars like the Geo. Elfie! Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I had this cute little Geo tracker, and I think it was my first car, actually. Cute little Geo tracker. My Papa Spacey would call it like the Fred Flintstone mobile, because it kind of had that soft top that Fred Flintstone's car had. But like, oh, I loved that Geo tracker so much. Oh my gosh, it was just like this compact little car. And like I just used it to get to and from college. That's all I used it for, but it was just like so much fun. And it had like a 4-wheel drive option, so I could just like put that sucker in 4-wheel drive and like hit the gas and just climb over like any snow pile that was in my way. It was such a fun little car. I'm sad that I had to give it away because I ended up moving overseas after I graduated from college. So I ended up having to give it away. And the funny thing is that like within weeks after selling it to a different owner, that owner started reporting like big problems with it. Like it almost like started completely falling apart on them. So it's like the car waited for me to not have it anymore before it started like having issues. But ever since then, I have not seen a Geo tracker in the wild ever again. Which is, oh, come on. I'd love to have another one someday, but like, I know my chances of finding one at this point are just like slim to none. Another car that's kind of cut from that cloth that might be fun to drive is like the old 70s Ford Broncos. They're super cute, but anyone who has like a 70s Bronco now takes like such good care of it that it would sell for like a lot of money. It's just like one of those cars that only like retro enthusiasts own nowadays. To the point where they add like so many bells and whistles to it and keep like the parts maintained that they're not gonna like give them away or even sell them. Oh, so Kamaiku says in X of years had a little diesel, how do you pronounce that? Peggy yet? That needed a bit of a push, but we drove everywhere in it. No gadgets or anything. Oh, wow. Yeah, I noticed that when I was living overseas as well, is that diesel vehicles were a lot more common. Whereas in my home country, in the US, diesel is mostly confined to like big rigs, like big 18-wheelers. But like when I was living overseas, I noticed that like diesel was more commonly used in like smaller cars, like sedans and stuff. So I was like, oh, so that's why they have that weird like knocking effect when they're running. And in the specific countries that I was living in, like manual gear was the standard. Like it was extremely difficult to find like automatic gear cars, but it didn't really matter anyway because I was never able to procure a driver's license overseas. And like public transportation over there was like good enough that you could go without a car. It was pretty much a luxury over there. Plus they had like, they taxed you based on the weight of the car when you purchased one. So that was rough on me back then because I loved driving so much when I was younger. So the fact that I couldn't was like a major drag. But yeah, eventually when I returned to my home country, did get myself an old car. Well, not an old car, but my own car. And I was like, yeah, I can drive again. Diesel Pidgeot. Peugeot is how you pronounce it. Nearly all manual in the UK. That's very interesting to me. That automatic gear has not like caught on in other countries. I'm not even sure if I can drive a stick. I was taught, like Papa Spacey taught me, but I haven't driven sticks since the training session, so. Yeah. I was soft spot too, Notikin, for retro cars. Like, I don't think I would go too old because at that point it's kind of a safety issue. Like they lack certain safety features that more modern cars have. But I think the car I have is like a nice middle ground. I wonder if I can hold on to this car long enough for it to become considered an antique by US law. Like past a certain number of years, I think it's either 15 or 20. A car becomes classified as an antique, which can affect things like insurance, for example. I don't know if it affects it positively or negatively though. But it just be kind of interesting to know that I bought this car when it was brand new, day one, and I held on to it long enough for it to become an antique. But whatever happens, happens. It's not a big deal if I have to switch cars. I'll just remember the good times. Automatic gears rapidly becoming more popular there. Apps by sheer dint of electric cars becoming popular. Oh yeah, I can imagine so. Because there's absolutely zero reason for an electric car to need a clutch because of the way it drives. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about electric cars right now. Like, I appreciate that for the most part they help like with the environment, but on the other hand, mining lithium takes up a lot of resources. So it's almost kind of like an investment almost, where you have to hope that an electric car is driven enough to offset the pollution of mining the lithium for the batteries. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. I will say though that electrics and hybrids are a very good choice if you live in the city where there's a lot of stop and go traffic. Whereas I feel like if you live in a rural area where you have to drive to get anywhere, you're better off getting a gas machine. So since I live like up in the woods, like 30 minutes away from civilization, of course I'm holding on to my gas car. Like, especially because, like, in my home country, they don't really have charging stations except in the city. Yeah, that's another way of putting it, Edge. Like, I'll be okay with electric cars as well, when the production of that electricity itself is clean. Because, like, until that point is reached, it almost, like, feels like a bit deceptive in a way. I don't know if the same can be said about hybrids, though. I think they're kind of in the same boat. Because a hybrid vehicle is one that is gas-powered just to charge the battery. And then after that, it switches to electric. And it can also, like, do gas only at high speeds and then do electric at low speeds. So that one is good for, like, if you live, like, in the city, but you have to commute outside of it. Hybrids are the quiet one? Yeah, electrics are too, honestly. Which can be a problem sometimes. Because when the only noise they make is the tires rolling across the road, it can be hard to tell when they're coming. Unless you, like, literally, like, are looking at them. But yeah, I'm not big on electric right now. I'm happy with my gas machine. Well, mostly because I just, like, think it makes sense for my specific, like, living situation. But I think if I were to move to the city, well, ideally if I moved to the city, I wouldn't have to worry about driving because hopefully the public transit is, like, good enough. Yeah. Plus gas cars are just, like, so much more fun to drive. Like, I guess it's because, like, I feel safe having, like, the tactile feedback of the engine. Whereas if you're in, like, an electric car, like, you can't tell what's going on. It's all computers and stuff. Like, you can't feel if there's something wrong with it, like you can with a gas, with a gas car. So, like, I don't know. I just feel safer in a gas car because I have, like, a better, like, grasp of what's actually going on under the hood. But yeah. Not to knock on electric cars, because I do recognize that they make things so much easier if you're just, like, commuting short distances and stuff. Oh, that's really cool, apps. I'm glad that they have that. So most electric cars are required to make artificial noise. Yeah. I've heard that, like, manual geared cars also have, like, an even greater, like, sense of, like, tactile feedback than even, like, gas-powered automatics. Just because of, like, the clutch and everything. Which makes me really interested to try a manual geared car someday. But personally, I don't see a need to unless I'm going on racetracks and stuff. Like, I remember window shopping and just, like, looking at like, Dodge Challengers. Oh my gosh, those things are absolute monsters. And to me, if I'm just, like, driving to get around on normal roads, that is definitely excessive. Like, the temptation to go fast in a car like that would be, like, way too great. That's the kind of car where I feel like I wouldn't want something that powerful unless I am using it specifically for racing. Like, I feel like the car I have right now is it's a very good balance. Like, it's powerful enough that I could do defensive driving techniques if I find myself in a sticky situation on the road. Like, the extra maneuverability that it has because it's turbocharged has saved me on more than one occasion. I've talked about this in the past, but there was one time when my friend Layla was over and we were just, like, we were driving up to Mama Spacey's house. Was that before or after I moved in? I can't remember. But yeah, we were driving up north, and like we were driving up one of the like those kinds of roads where it's basically like two roads that are parallel to each other, and there's kind of like a metal like fence like separating them. And on each road, like all the cars go in one direction, and then on the opposite road, like they go the opposite direction. Basically like a double road almost. So we saw a deer up ahead that was standing like right next to the metal fence. I was looking at it. It looked like it was gonna like jump over the fence and like run right in our path, and it did. And we were like, "Oh, okay, this is happening." So I veered sharply to the right in order to go onto like a side dirt road to avoid it. So when I did that, it ended up taking us right into the path of a telephone pole. But then, because I knew I couldn't brake to stop in time before I reached the telephone pole, so I quickly like maneuvered again. And if I was in any other car, we probably would have hit the pole. But because I was in like a turbocharged car like the Subaru WRX, I was able to like quickly veer out of the way. So we just like stop the car on the dirt road and just like take a breather, and I'm just like shaking, and I start crying and everything, and Layla, of course, like we both get out of the car, and then Layla just like hugs me and comforts me. So that was a thing. But she was very proud of me. She said like she said like with moves like that you could actually like go on a dirt track. And I was like, oh really? So yeah, crisis averted. That like I feel, so suffice to say, I feel like the car I have is like perfect for the purpose that I need it for, which is to get from A to B, but also have enough power behind the hood to make evasive maneuvers if I need to and stay safe. And even then, it can still be like surprisingly easy to end up like going faster than I think I am, just because the ride is so smooth because of how strong the engine is. But anything like beyond that, I'm like, it's not for me. Not unless I'm using that car specifically for racing. Oh, Fluff Kitten, hi. Hope you're doing well. Just having a casual chatty batty. Kicking off the new year, just like talking about our goals and resolutions, and then we got to talking about cars. Yeah, that's quite the story. Thankfully, nothing that precarious has happened to me since. So I've had like around 3 years of like relatively like uneventful driving between places. I mean, other than the time that I got a speeding ticket. But I think that mark on my record is set to expire this year, which I am happy about. Yeah, it's like I said, like in a car like that, it could sometimes be a little tricky to tell how fast I'm actually going. So I ended up, yeah, I ended up getting in the crosshairs of a state trooper, and I was like, I'm sorry. But it's all good. I wasn't going that much faster over the speed limit. What if internet happens? Oh, thank you for the care combo, Fluffkin. I'll take Sippy and Stretchy. Well. Good stuff. Precarious. I see what you did there. Yeah, I haven't really like done that much driving in the past year or so. I've just been cooped up in my bat cave for the most part, working on games and stuff. It's been really nice. But I've said before that I really want to like travel sometime soon. Maybe after Chrono Gear's done and I have that few months to myself. I can think about, like, you know what would be cool? We could maybe see if we can plan things with other Chrono Gear team members and have like a meetup on the West Coast. And then we can do like a belated like celebration of the release and like go to a bunch of like places, eat some really good food. I guess we'll see. Yeah, what the? I hear noises. Wait. Did I tell you all? Did I tell you that we got a doggy treadmill for Sammy and Paige? Yeah, yeah. We have a treadmill specifically for dogs. It kind of reminds me of the portable treadmill that I put under my desk when I want to walk when I work. But it's got like these walls on the left and right side so that the dogs aren't distracted while they're walking. But it's so cool. Like we'll put the leash on Sammy or Paige one at a time. And it's like we take them for a walk, but it's we take them on the leash, we guide them onto the treadmill, and then we just stay there while the treadmill is going, and they just like walk towards us and they use it. It's so cool. yeah, bowling alley guardrails is a good comparison. But it's really cool. Like Sammy took to it right away. We didn't even need the leash for him to kind of get the idea initially. Paige was way more hesitant. She was kind of scared after the first time it started moving under her feet. But with the leash, she feels a lot better about it. So that's something that we've been doing like every other day. We take him for a treadmill walk for a few minutes. And I think that will help with Paige, especially because she's not as hyperactive as Sammy is. Like Sammy is a more anxious dog, so he naturally just like runs a lot more than she does in the house. Whereas Paige is much more calm of a dog. So I think the walks will help her more to keep her weight reasonable. Which I'm quite happy about. I can't remember the last time that I had like just a stream where I was like doing chatty batty and nothing else. It's really nice. I'm glad that you're all here. It's very good to be back. Oh, Nakagami, hi. It has been a while. Oh my gosh. You can't stay on. I'm not on because you're finishing up Astrobot. Astrobot looks so good. If it wasn't a PS5 exclusive, I would play it. But I don't want to get a PS5 just for one game. Like, I actually came very close to buying one just so I could play the new Ratchet and Clank. But since that's on PC now, it's like, why bother? I guess Astrobot is a reason to bother. I like the memes too about like Astrobot winning Game of the Year, and people are like, PS5 has one game now. Wanted to congratulate you on Freedom Planet 2 getting a physical edition. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really happy. For those who are interested, you can check the pinned message. Limited Run Games we have worked with to bring a physical edition of Freedom Planet 2. It's a long time coming, but I'm glad we're finally there. Good stuff. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it here. We'll just keep this stream like short and sweet. And then I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see if I can set up the patch for Mega Man X6, and then we can play that. Kick off Mega Manuary in style. Oh yeah. If for some reason I can't figure out the tech behind it, I could think of another Mega Man game to play. Or we could do an art stream. Been a while since that too. I can't afford a PC, so the PS5 is the next best thing. That is a good option, honestly, because consoles nowadays are getting closer to PCs in terms of what they're capable of. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for stream. Thank you. Alright, let's see if there's somebody we can raid into. Yeah, when I have my new Spacey Bat 2.0 layout, I have to think about like how I could switch up the background music. I've had the Animal Crossing music for so long that it just feels natural. Maybe I could commission some of my musician friends for some relaxing pieces. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's raid into my friend that I wanted to raid into the other day, but it was Dawn's debut, so we didn't. Squeegee. Let's see. Raid Squeegee. Make sure I'm spelling this correctly. So Squeegee is a mushroom VTuber. She has... I don't know if she's an art teacher right now or if she just has like prior experience teaching art, but she's an artiste. She has a very... She has so much cool knowledge about the subject, and it's just like such a treat to like lurk in her streams ever since I met her. I originally met her during the Donkey and Palm tournament. Was that last month or the month before? But very cool person. So here is our raid message if you're subscribed to me, or you can just say bat raid. But yes, thank you all so much for hanging with me. It's so good to be back, and I had so much fun hearing about all of your goals for 2025. So let's do our best to support each other in our goals. And I wish everybody the best of luck. I hope this year is a very good year for everybody. And even if it's not, I hope that things will ultimately work out in the end. Yes, Happy New Year! Alright, I'll see you all tomorrow. We can start Mega Manuary. But until then, bats around. Bye. Bats.